Hello everyone, Zeddy here again, and this time I've decided let's take a look at what cards are rotating coming up in April from the year of the Raven. Yes, everyone's favorite year of really unremarkable and somewhat underwhelming Hearthstone expansions. This year was spent dialing back the power creep that was introduced with Cobalt and Catacomb, Knights of the Frozen Throne, and well, those cards kind of still dominated for the entire first year of the Year of the Raven. And then the second year, well, the power creep kind of stepped back up, and these cards, again, were quite underwhelming. It was an interesting time. I think these cards could have seen a lot more play if the power level of this Year of the Dragon wasn't quite what it is now, but nonetheless, that just didn't happen. So I thought I'd take a look at 5 cards from each expansion from the Year of the Raven that I will dearly miss. Some of them didn't see a ton of play, but were just really cool cards. And some were just cards that I really enjoyed playing quite a bit. So, what expansions were in the Year of the Raven? Well, we have the Boomsday Project, we have the Witchwood, and lastly, we had Rasta's Rumble. 3, like I said, pretty underwhelming expansions, but definitely had some powerful cards and some favorites of mine to discuss. So let's start with the first expansion during the Year of the Raven, the Witchwood. So the first card that I will dearly miss is Azalina's Soul Thief, a 7-mana 3/3 legendary battle cry. Steal your opponent's hand. Well, copy it, not really steal it. You get a copy of their hand. This is a very diverse card. It saw play in several different decks. I remember when it was first revealed, people were like, oh, this is the perfect aggro card. You just completely vomit your hand, you're out of cards, and then you play Azalina and steal your opponent's hand and finish them off with their cards. Well, it didn't really turn out that well, as you just typically didn't get cards that you would want, or if it's in an aggro mirror, it's just a super dead card. But regardless, it was used that way. There were other ways where it was used, like in a Control Warrior mirror, where you would Azalina your opponent's Elysiana and get even more anti-fatigue and win the mirror that way. But I think the most notorious deck it was used in, and probably my most enjoyable, was Togwaggle Druid, where you'd play King Togwaggle, flip the opponent's deck, and then you would Azalina to steal their hand, and you would get the ransom twice over, and well, you could just flip the deck back again. And it was quite the uninteractive, hilarious combo that seemed like it should be a beam, but it was a very strong deck, and still sees play as a high-tier deck in Wild today. So, really cool card. We'll miss it, but, you know, it's time to go. The next card on the list is a Hunter Legendary, Houndmaster Shaw. 4-mana 3/6, your minions have Rush. Now, this was really when Rush was introduced, was in this expansion, in the Witchwood. And this card really highlighted how powerful Rush is. If this minion stuck on the board, you won. It was just that powerful because, well, you could trade into everything. You can dictate the board. It was extremely powerful in mid-range Hunter. Even some aggressive decks ran it. It was just a very strong card. It kind of got power creeped out of the game, though, as basically every minion now has Rush. So why give your minions Rush when most of them already have it? So Houndmaster Shaw kind of got power creeped out of the game, but during its time, I just thought it was a really cool, powerful card that even, and if you cubed it, oh my goodness, it could get out of control. Your other Shaw would have Rush, and then everything had Rush. It was just Rush-tastic. But it's a cool card. I will miss it. Probably won't see much play in Wild, as it barely sees play in Standard anymore, but I thought it was pretty cool. Then we have Lord Godfrey as the next card that I will really miss. Another legendary. I guess I really like the legendaries. It's the last one from this expansion, though. Lord Godfrey, 7-mana 4/4. Deal 2 damage to all minions. Do it again, as long as one died. Now, this card is like the ultimate tempo board clear. You could clear the most insane boards you can imagine. I remember clearing one board that had 2 Void Lords, 2 Void Lords, a cube with Void Lords in it, my own Void Lords, and then a billion other crazy, like, Cabal Lackeys, all sorts of crazy stuff. Probably 50 mana worth of minions cleared for 7 mana. It was just, I think it's just a really cool card because it rewarded you for setting it up properly. It wasn't just play the card, clear the board. You had to do different things similar to Defile a little less clunky because you have the 2 times multiplier, but it's just a really elegant board clear that I wish there was more of these kind of cards in the game. It's a very powerful board clear, really strong, just really rewarded you for playing well and setting it up, and you also, your opponent could properly play around it as well. If, you know, they feel Godfrey's in hand, well, I'm going to try and keep no low health minions. And I like that setup. I wish we had more cards like that today, but currently not so much. Then we have Warpath, Warrior Echo Spell. 2 mana, deal 1 damage to all minions. Again, this really kind of showed off how Echo could be very powerful. And we didn't see a lot of Echo until recently in the Galakron's Awakening adventure with the Rising Winds card. But it was just a really cool little board clear. Could let you do a lot of stuff. It really helped Control Warrior become a little bit more dominant in the meta. And I will basically put it this way. I'm putting that card because Control Warrior is the first deck I ever hit rank 1 Legend with. And this little baby did a lot of work for me, and I will miss it. Not the most exciting card, and the aggro and mid-range players definitely didn't like it, but being able to warpath through tokens, being able to get stuff through your Acolyte, Battle Rage, all these kind of things. As a control player, a combo player, I appreciate it. And lastly, we have Witchwood Grizzly, a 5-mana 3/12 taunt. That's broken. But the catch is, well, the battle cry has 1 less health for every card in your opponent's hand. I love this design. It punishes people that have just vomited their hand, and, you know, you just slam down this giant taunt. It didn't really work out that way so much. It was more of you cheated out with Katrina or other means in like Shadow Essence in Priest, and then you would resurrect it or you would cube it, and then you don't really have to worry about the battle cry because you get it back at full health. So it didn't really work out that way, but I love the design of it, and it was just a really cool card. I'll miss it. I mean, it doesn't see any play now because you don't really have ways to cheat it, for the most part, outside of a couple of niche druid cards like Stampeding Roar and things like that. But it just doesn't quite work that way, and with the massive amount of value generation with Blackies and things like that, people's hands are just never empty anymore, so you couldn't really play it for that. But during its time, I really enjoyed the card. I thought it was cool. I love the design of it. I, again, would like to see more stuff like that. Less random, more cool effects, more creativity is always appreciated. So those are the cards I will miss from the Witchwood. How about the Boomsday Project? The Mech expansion. Well, I only have 1 Mech on this list, but this is one of the best designed cards. One of the most radical, awesome cards in all of Hearthstone. I want it to be in standard forever. I don't want it to go. I am very upset about this, but it has to go in all of its unity, precision, and perfection. Ziliax. 5 mana 3/2. Lifesteal Rush. Divine Shield. Mech minion. Magnetic as well. The ultimate 5-drop. It could heal you. It could save your butt. You attach it to another mech, you heal for a bunch. Just a super versatile card you could utilize. Just, I don't know how I'm going to stay alive against aggro anymore without this card. It's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's played in like every deck you can imagine. And to me, it never felt overly broken, even though it saw so much play. Just a really cool card. I'm going to be sad to see it go. It's just not going to be the same without Ziliax. F for Ziliax. Then we have a Druid card. As like I said, I am a combo player at heart, as well as control, but Dream Petal Florist is my baby. When it was revealed, nobody believed in it. Nobody thought it would be much. I saw potential. I put it in my Mali Druid. I spammed that deck for thousands of games. It was a great time. And everyone said it was bad. Nobody would play it. And then the thing happened is I got really good ranks with it. And then RDU got rank 1 legend with it. Zamos got rank 1 legend with it with Dream Petal Florist. And then it became standard in Malagos Druid until the nerfs occurred to the deck. And I just love what it could do. It could enable crazy combos. 7 mana 4/4, discount a minion by an absurd amount. Basically make it free by 7 mana. That's insane. And it was. Doesn't see much play now as there's just not enough support to make Malagos Druid work or any other combo deck, but thought it was a cool card. It was kind of my baby, and I'll be sad to see it go, but hey, you had your time to shine, and you proved me right. That one time I was right. Feels good. We have Stargazer Luna as the next card, a Mage Legendary, 3-mana, 2/4. This card is very unique. Anytime you played a card from the right side of your hand, you drew another card. This would allow for some crazy miracle turns in like Tempo Mage with, you see it even in Wild still with Quest Mage that I play, Sorcerer's Apprentice, where you just chain cheap spells, or as things degenerated and power creep escalated with the Pocket Galaxy, it allowed you to cheat 1-mana minions, and that got insane and was slightly broken. But I just thought it was a really cool card. Rewarded hand utilization, like how you manage the right side of your hand, because you can do things to manipulate it with like Magic Trick, things like that. Your card draw. Thought it was a fun card. I will miss it, but I'll keep playing it in Wild, I'm pretty sure. And then we have another Warrior card, again, similar to Warpath. Most people would be like, this card's boring. I think it's Pog. Super Collider. 5-mana, 1/3 weapon. You force another minion to attack its neighbor. I just thought it was the ultimate cool control. Use your face to really, control the board and make minions attack, and you would make your opponents have to play differently. They couldn't just position their minions blindly. They had to think about it, and I like that aspect of it, so... It was a cool card. It really made people think. Everyone thought it would be terrible, myself included, and it was a very strong card. It's in Odd Warrior, and then in Control Warrior. Again, the deck I hit rank 1 Legend with, and it was just really cool. It doesn't see too much play now, because Control Warrior just can't really be a thing anymore, but really cool card. We'll miss it, but I don't think there's a lot of people that will miss it. I think I'm kind of in the minority on that one, but I'm okay with that. And then lastly, I really struggled with this expansion to find cards I liked, honestly. So I'm just going to go full meme. Academic Espionage. I've never played this card in my deck, but I have certainly randomly discovered it, and crazy shenanigans have happened. And as much as I don't really care for random, it could really lead to some stupid games that could, you'll be talking about for days afterwards. So, 4 mana... Shuffle 10 1-cost cards from your opponent's class into your deck. It's just silly. Not realistic, but hey. It was good memes, and there's a lot of cool highlights from it. So I'll give it to Academic Espionage. I'll miss it, I guess. Last expansion of the Year of the Raven was Rastacon's Rumble. And let's go over 5 more cards that I will miss. We have Line Cracker. Yes, Line Cracker. Everyone's favorite card. It's in so many decks. 7 mana, 5/10. Overkill. Double its attack. This card is cool for one reason only. Bees. That's it. Bees. This wasn't even a standard combo. This card I never played in standard. But I don't care. I will miss it because of bees. See, you would play bees with Floop's Gloop and overkill it a bunch of times, and then you play bees again, and then you get all your mana back, and then you get this huge amount of attack, and then you earthen skills, and you gain like 1 billion armor, as I'm sure you've seen many of your favorite meme streamers do. And well, I've done it. It's really cool and fun, and I guess I'll miss it. Sure, why not? Line Cracker. Rest in peace. The next card on the list is Mojo Master Z-Heap. A 6 mana, 5/5. Set your both players' mana crystals to 5. I just think it was a really cool anti kind of combo card. You could kind of hard set your opponent's mana if they're planning on doing some combo. Well, they're going to have to wait a few more turns, and that stall out could screw them. And I like cards that introduce counterplay like that. And it saw some limited play in Standard and Wild, and thought it was a cool card. And I'm a fan of counterplay. Cool effect, cool legendary. Won't miss it. And then next on the list, I have Hakar the Soul Flare, 10 mana, 9/6. Death Rattle, shuffle a blood into each... Is it a cursed blood? I don't remember. A corrupted blood? Whatever. A blood into each opponent's deck. And what the blood will do when you draw it, deals 3 damage to that player, and then shuffles 2 more bloods into the deck. So effectively, it's going to ultimately kill each opponent as they keep drawing the bloods. This allowed for crazy text to beat Highlander decks. Well, they have multiple Bloods in their deck. What can they do? It could let you beat combo decks like Shirvala Paladin. Well, they can't reliably Holy Wrath you anymore. Or you could do one of my favorite decks that I spammed a lot of, which was a crazy combo druid, where you would combo with Auctioneer and get a bunch of cheap cards, and then you would play out Hakar, you'd kill it off yourself, you'd flip the deck with Togwoggle, and you double naturalize, forcing your opponent to draw all the Bloods and kill them. It was pretty cool. It was really degenerate, non-interactive, but super cool, and I really enjoyed that. And I just like cards that let you do crazy things like that. And it's calculated, it's not totally random, and it's just pretty cool card. So, I'll miss Hakar. May he rest in peace, but man, have I blooded a lot of people. Next on the list, a Shaman Legendary. 3 mana, 1/3 Zentimo. Well, those stats suck, but we all know it could be a very powerful card, as you would deal a you would cast a spell, and it would deal its effect to its neighbors, and it could be friendly or it could be enemies minions. So we saw it most recently in the latest builds of Galakron Shaman, where he plays Zentimo and Ray of Frost. Or you could play it in like Evolve Shaman and play Zentimo Evolve or whatever. There was tons of cool stuff you could do. It was a really flexible card. It didn't see it that much play over its time, but when it did, I just thought it was a really cool, interesting card that really rewarded good positioning on your part or your opponent's part. They could play around it somewhat. And just crazy things could happen. Like, Zentimo Evolve could just do ridiculous things. Or as a rogue player, I am known to steal Zentimo and then backstab or praise Galakron or eviscerate and do 1 billion damage. And it's just a pretty cool card, and I will definitely miss Zentimo. I wish he saw more play, but at least he had some time to shine. And the last card that I will talk about that I will miss from Rastacon's Rumble is The Undertaker. Probably the coolest flavor of a name, The Undertaker. He's not quite the WWE Undertaker, but he was pretty darn scary at times. Was it 8 mana, 8/5? He would battle cry, copy 3 death rattles from death rattle minions that had died that game. There was some crazy combos you could pull with this, especially in Paladin. You could go infinite with the the prelate minion, the 2 mana 1/3. You could go infinite. It didn't really happen too much, but it was pretty cool. You also could do stuff in Druid where you could go relatively infinite with Astral Tiger and Hadronox and basically get infinite taunts and also infinite Undertakers and things like that. The card didn't see too much play. It also was seen limited play in Mech Paladin. Mech, more like the Mech Quest Paladin, where you could basically get reborn Undertakers forever and just, you would never lose, but it just was so clunky and slow. It only really be Control Warrior, and once that deck went away, it wasn't seen play. But it was a really cool card, allowed for crazy, crazy stuff. Pretty greedy, but hey, 8 mana card should be pretty greedy. So those are 15 of my favorite cards that will be rotating from the Year of the Raven. Let me know what you think. What cards are you excited or will you miss? I'm excited to see what new cards will replace them, but, you know, I will be nostalgic towards these cards for some time. Do you disagree with any of these? Especially probably the Warrior ones. But yeah, what are you going to miss? If you did enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. You guys have been doing a great job at doing that. We're already over 120 subs in a really quick amount of time, so I really do appreciate that. There's a quick spoiler alert, though. I think the next video we might finally go and be slightly more negative. I'm known as a salty dude. And yeah, the next video might be a little bit more negative, because I think I might be talking about the cards that I won't be missing that will be rotating coming up. So keep tuned for that one. So until then, have a good day and stay salty, my friends.